One of their former champions is Peter Bell. He's now the head of football at Fremantle. And on the eve of the Dockers going into the hubs tomorrow, Peter Bell joins us, says he's packing and getting ready to go for tomorrow. Welcome, Belly. Before we get on to matters Freo, it's tough in footy clubs at the moment when you're having to prioritise some staff over the others. You must have some empathy with what North and others are going through.
Yeah, look, the period will be remembered as a period where there were lots of really tough conversations and quality people were lost to football clubs. So, look, it's very difficult, but that's the position we're in.
You're heading off tomorrow. West Coast arrived tonight in the Gold Coast. How big a logistical minefield is this for you and the team, and how settled and ready are you to embrace it?
Yeah, well, we're definitely embracing it. We've gone in with a really positive mindset. We're a really young team, so I think the biggest difficulty would be for those players and those staff members who have families, and obviously we've got a lot of staff members with families and young children, but with the players, we've got 4 players with kids, so we're mindful of the individual circumstances of all of our staff and players and their families, but we think that given the age of our group and the opportunity that this presents for long-term benefits to the footy club, we've gone in with a really positive mindset, as I said.
So, Peter, we've just reported earlier tonight that the Gabba looks like being the first ground to introduce crowds into their stadium as early as this Saturday, and I reckon they're going to have about 1,000 there for their game against Fremantle on Saturday. How do you feel about being the first club to be booed at in the new season?
Look, it's exciting for those fans in Queensland, and I don't think there'll be too many Freo flags there, given that there's only 1,000 at the Gabba. But I think it's great for football. It's great for those passionate fans. So many members at so many different clubs and sponsors have continued to support the footy club. So it'll be terrific to see some fans in there, and no doubt it will be a unique experience for them, Caro.
Peter, Jesse Hogan, I want to ask you about. I heard Simon Garlick speak that Jesse will be going to the Gold Coast, but unsure just yet whether he will play games. Can you give us clarification on that? Is he up for selection this week?
Yeah, look, Jesse did some match simulation, Lloydie, on Friday and performed really well. As you can see there, he's in terrific condition. We just needed to get some sort of sharper movement in Jesse, football movements, if you like, lateral movement, that really ballistic movement. And he did quite well on Friday, and we'll continue to build him. For a long period, it hasn't really been about football for Jesse. It's been more about his happiness and his health. He needed to step away from footy to prioritise that, and we supported him in that. But it's been great to have him back, and he's certainly putting his best foot forward and mounting a pretty strong case that we should consider him to play footy in the near future.
But not this weekend?
Look, we haven't ruled anything out, Hutchie. I mean, it was compelling on Friday what he did, and clearly he's a player that would cause a lot of clubs some issues. He's got a lot of ability, and he'd be another tall forward that we could use. We're not ruling him out at this stage, Hutchie.
And can you clarify with us, Pete, what actually happened to Cam McCarthy and whether he will be on the plane tomorrow to the Gold Coast? Yeah,
he'll be on the plane for sure. It was a really scary moment. It was one of the non-contact days that we had. So in a small group of 8, and he was just at the end of a line to just pick up the ball and have a kick, and he actually collapsed. So it sent a real scare through the camp. Thankfully, he was able to get to his feet unassisted, and he was talking and lucid pretty soon thereafter. We sent him off via ambulance to the hospital, and he's had a number of tests, and at the moment we're not really any the wiser as to what actually happened with Cam, but I can confirm that we'll look after him, but he will definitely be on the plane as well.
And Billy, how long do you expect to be there? I mean, if the AFL comes and says you need to be there for 6 weeks, will you accept that, or have you got a time frame on when you need to be back by?
Look, we've got an open mind, Kane, and we have to. We know that the fixture will be revisited after round 3. At the moment, we have the set fixture till round 5. Our squad and our staff are ready. If the AFL say, look, we'd like you to start there for another couple of rounds, it wouldn't be our preference, clearly. And I think at some stage, I think the competition would obviously understand that we need to get back to Western Australia, as do West Coast, and the Adelaide clubs need to go home as well. And I think in the interests of equity and fairness, I think most clubs, their supporters and members would support football being played in Western Australia, notwithstanding we've got a difficult sort of position with our state border at the moment.
Are you surprised to hear that Harley Bennell could be putting on the boots this weekend and playing for Melbourne?
It'd be a great story, Caro. Look, it didn't work out at Freo for us and Harley. We would be thrilled to see him playing football, and I mean that genuinely, because he's been to hell and back in a football sense. We got close with Harley on a number of occasions to him being back out there and doing what he does best at an AFL level. I think it'd be a great story, and a lot of people at Fremantle will be wishing him the best. And if it's not this week, hopefully it's sometime soon thereafter.
Hey, Pete, when you do return back to Western Australia, have you been given any indication from the AFL that you could have 4 or 5 games in a row, possibly at your home ground?
It'd be great for us if that is what it eventuated. We haven't got anything concrete at all. But again, Lloydie, just going back to what would be fair in the circumstances, I think no one in the competition would begrudge ourselves and West Coast and the Adelaide clubs that sort of fixture balancing if that was to eventuate.
Peter, travel safe. Good luck. Hopefully it works out well for Fremantle and you're back in Perth soon enough. And thanks for your time.
No, thank you.